Pitamina Bhutale Vayam Rupa Kadamahyam Tadati Swa Padantika Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaisnavam Shri Rupam Sajagratam Sahagana Raghunathan Sajivam Sadvaitam Sarvabhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Shaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Visakam Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu
Dina
Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kancha Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Shabanu Sutete Pranamami Hari Vancha Kalpatarupasya Kripa Sindhu
Patitanam Pavani Vaishnavega
Namo Chaitanya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Nityananda Advaita Gadadara Sivasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So you're now Murali Gopal, huh?
Yes, Prabhuji, by the masses.
Congratulations. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much.
And who was Ishwari Radha Devi? Did you also get initiated? Can everyone hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Please accept my humble obeisances.
Were you always initiated, or you just
No. I just got initiated.
And what was your name before?
Indu Sabunyali.
Ah, okay. Hare Krishna. Well, congratulations to you also.
All glories to Sri Guru and Gauranga.
Yes. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So we're continuing our study of Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 8. Today's text 8 and 9. That's correct?
Yes, Prabhuji. Please 8 and 9.
Okay. So text 8, and Maitreya Muni is describing how he heard the Srimad Bhagavatam. Shankyayana Paramahamsa Mukyo Vivakshamano Bhagavad Vibhuti Jagadaso Smad Gurave Ambitaya Parasharayata Brihaspatescha. So you can repeat after me. Sankyayana Paramahamsa Mukyo. I think you have to unmute. Sankyayana Paramahamsa Mukyo.
Sankyayana Paramahamsa Mukyo.
Vivakshamano Bhagavad Vibhuti.
Vivakshamano
Bhagavan.
Jagada Sosmat Guruve Anvitaya.
Jagad Asosmat
Parasharayata Brihaspatescha.
Parasharaya cha.
Someone else can chant the verse, whole verse. Shankyayana Paramahamsa Mukhyo. You can chant like that. No? All right. Shankyayana. The great sage Shankyayana. Paramahamsa
The great
Mukhya.
sage Sankhya.
The chief of all transcendentalists.
The chief of all
The chief of
Do we
transcendentalists.
have, is someone showing the verse? Otherwise, this is impossible. Someone should always have the verse. But if that's not possible today, there we go. That'll make it a little easier. All right, someone can chant the verse.
Sankhya Paramashyam.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes.
Okay, I'll try. Sankhyayanah Paramahamsa Mukhyo Vivaksamano Bhagavat Vibhutihi Jagdaso Asmadgurave Anvidyaya Parashrayatha Brahaspatescha.
Very good. Ishwari? Anyone else? So we were doing the word for word. Shankayana. You can repeat after me. Sankhayana.
Sankhayana,
The great sage Sankhayana.
the great sage Sankhayana,
Paramahamsa Mukhya.
Paramhamsa Mukhya,
The chief of all transcendentalists.
the chief of all transcendentalists,
Vivakshamana.
Vivakshamana,
While reciting
while reciting
Bhagavad Vibhuti.
Bhagavad Vibhuti,
The glories of the Lord.
the glories of the Lord,
Jagada. Explained. Sa.
Sa,
He. Asmat.
Asmat,
Of me.
of me,
Guruve.
Guruve,
Unto the spiritual master.
unto the spiritual master,
Anvitaya.
Anvitaya,
Followed.
followed,
Parasharaya.
Parasharaya,
Unto the sage Parashara.
unto the sage Parashara,
Atabriaspatecha.
Atha Vipatescha,
Also to Brihaspati.
also to Brihaspati.
Translation and purports by ISKCON BBT founder Acharya, His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. The great sage Sankhayana was the chief amongst the transcendentalists, and when he was describing the glories of the Lord in terms of Srimad Bhagavatam, it so happened that my spiritual master Parashara and Brihaspati both heard from him. Text 9. Provachamayam sadayalokto muni pulasyena purana madhyam soham tavaitat katayami vatsa shradalave nityamanurattaya. Translation. The great sage Parashara, as aforementioned, being so advised by the great sage Pulastya, spoke unto me the foremost of the Puranas, Bhagavatam. I shall also describe this before you, my dear son, in terms of my hearing, because you are always my faithful follower. Purport. The great sage of the name Pulastya is the father of all demoniac descendants. Once upon a time, Parashara began a sacrifice in which all the demons were to be burnt to death because his father had been killed and devoured by one of them. The great sage Vashishta Muni arrived at the sacrifice and requested Parashara to stop the deadly action, and because of Vashishta's position and respect in the community of sages, Parashara could not deny the request. Parashara, having stopped the sacrifice, Pulastya, the father of the demons, appreciated his Brahminical temperament and gave the blessing that in the future he would be a great speaker on the Vedic literatures called the Puranas, the supplements of the Vedas. Parashara's action was appreciated by Pulastya because Parashara had forgiven the demons out of his Brahminical power of forgiveness. Parashara was able to demolish all the demons in the sacrifice, but he considered, demons are so made that they devour living creatures, men and animals, but why on that account should I withdraw my Brahminical qualification of forgiveness? As the great speaker of the Puranas, Parashara first of all spoke on the Srimad Bhagavat Purana because it is the foremost of all the Puranas. Maitreya Muni desired to narrate the same Bhagavatam he had heard from Parashara, and Vidura was qualified to hear it because of his faithfulness and his following the instructions received from superiors. So Srimad Bhagavatam was being narrated from time immemorial by the disciplic succession, even before the time of Vyasadeva. The so-called historians calculate the Puranas to be only a few hundred years old, but factually the Puranas existed from time immemorial, before all historical calculations by the mundaners and speculative philosophers. And the text again, the great sage Parashara, as aforementioned, being so advised by the great sage Pulastya, spoke unto me the foremost of the Puranas, Bhagavatam. I shall also describe this before you, my dear son, in terms of my hearing, because you are always my faithful follower. So we know Vidura has been inquiring from Maitreya Rishi about Krishna, Bhagavan, his qualities and nature and connection to this temporary material world. And he had asked, well, how did you hear the Srimad Bhagavatam? And so Maitreya is explaining to him that he had heard it from another great sage, and because Maitreya Muni is a faithful follower. How does he describe it? Because of his faithfulness and his following the instructions received from superiors, Maitreya was qualified to hear the Srimad Bhagavatam, the Bhagavad Purana. And Srila Prabhupada has explained that the Bhagavatam means the beautiful story of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And we hear Srila Prabhupada explaining that bhakti is eternal, and eternal service to Bhagavan, Krishna, who is eternal, by us, who are Maimai Vamsho Jivaloka Jivabhuta Sanatana, the spiritual sparks of Bhagavan, Ajo Nitya Shashvato from Bhagavad Gita, that we are Aja, without birth, Nitya, eternal. Purana, everlasting. So bhakti is naturally eternal because we are eternal, and God, Krishna, is eternal. And so the beautiful story of the Shema of the Supreme Personality of Godhead must be eternal. It's not a story about someone who, there's so many biographies of famous people who lived on earth and they appeared and disappeared. And they became someone else in their next life. But Lord Krishna, Ishvara Parama Krishna, Sat Chit, Sat, he is eternal. Sat Chit Ananda, he is eternal. Krishna, as he tells Arjuna in Bhagavad Gita in the 4th chapter, that many, many births you have taken, and I can remember all of them, but you cannot. So Krishna, eternity. Sometimes people think of eternity that it never ends, but eternity also means no beginning. You and I, all of us. What is that verse? The very beginning verse in the 2nd chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. Na tva evaham jatuna sam, na tva meni janani baha. That never was there a time when I did not exist, nor you, nor all these kings, nor shall any of us cease to be. That's something to meditate upon and think about. I was never born. My parents tell me about my birthday, and every year there's a birthday, but I was never born. That's very amazing. Me, all of us, we have always existed. And we will never not exist. So bhakti unto Bhagavan, Krishna, it must be eternal. And so the Srimad Bhagavatam is eternal. Sometimes we think of Srimad Bhagavatam as these books, all these wonderful translations by our ISKCON founder, Acharya Srila Prabhupada, that he translated Bhagavat Purana. So many volumes, the 10 cantos. But Srila Prabhupada, Srimad mentions that we have 12 cantos, 18,000 verses. But in the heavenly planets, they have hundreds of cantos. We just have small. So Bhagavatam is not this set of books that we have. And from a certain perspective, Bhagavad Gita is not the book that we have on our shelf, on our bookshelf. What do I mean by that? Just as Lord Krishna explains in the 4th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, that this science of bhakti, this science of God, was explained unto the sun god millions of years ago. And then to Vaivashvata Manu, and down through the disciplic succession. And Bhagavad Gita means the science of Krishna. And we have it in this Bhagavad Gita as it is. But we should understand and remember that the essence is this science of Krishna, which is eternal and appears in many different creations of Krishna at different times, as Lord Krishna says, I come to reestablish religious principles because the divine teaching of bhakti becomes lost. So this teaching of bhakti, the teaching of Srimad Bhagavatam, is eternal. The Srila Prabhupada writes at the end that so-called historians calculate the Puranas to be only a few hundred years old. If one tries to trace the different Puranas, that when they were written down on paper in the earliest printed manuscripts that can be found, they're only so many hundreds of years old. But the divine information is eternal. And previously, it's described in Srimad Bhagavatam that it was just heard and remembered. People had greater abilities, some Shruti Dharas, to remember. Even now, here, right now, there are people who can memorize whole books, word for word, almost. There are such people, not many. But hundreds and hundreds, thousands of years ago, there were so many that had that ability because of, as is described here, that Maitreya Muni, he was qualified to hear this science of Krishna, to understand Krishna, because of his faithfulness and, what is the other thing? Following the instructions received from superiors. So there's qualification to hear Srimad Bhagavatam. Not everyone is capable. Just like when someone has drinks liquor and they're drunk. I don't know there in Africa, but here, other places of the world, if they get stopped by the police will say, step out of the car and walk in a straight line, stand on one leg and touch your nose, just to see what their ability is. And if they can't do that, if they have lost that ability, they must be very drunk, intoxicated. So we humans, we don't always have the same ability, the same capacity to understand things. Just as, on your phone, you push the button and it makes it louder, makes it softer. So our ability to understand things, it can be turned down according to how we live our life and what we do, what we eat, how we sleep. And it can also be turned up. Think about that. How many things are there that we might be able to understand if we had the ability? How many of us are familiar with calculus? I'm not. I know very little about the mathematics of calculus. And I imagine many of us are not that familiar either. And if someone hands us a book, a mathematics book of calculus, it's just some words on the page and all sorts of strange words, and we don't understand. We don't have the ability at that point. But we can learn gradually. Also, if we try and look up in the sky and look at the rings around the planet Saturn, there are rings. And there are definitely some people, if you tell them, oh, the planet Saturn has rings around it, they'll say, no, it doesn't. No, it can't be possible. But actually it does have rings around it, and there's so many people who look at it every day. And they use a telescope. It's not something you can see with the eye. We don't have the ability to see the rings around Saturn. So there's so many things that require ability and to understand Krishna very much requires sattva guna, that our mind and body are in the mode of goodness. In fact, the Vedas say that those who are of the nature of Sudras should not study the Vedas. It'll be useless. It'll be practically useless because being their minds and intelligence being so much in the absorbed in the modes of Raja and Tamagun, they won't be able to grasp it. Their minds may not like it very much. They may commit offenses. Oh, that's not possible. I don't understand. Just because they don't have the mechanical, it's a mechanical thing. It's not a matter of wanting to or not wanting to. It's just simply, if you put on sunglasses in the dark, it's going to be even more difficult to walk around in the room. And it has nothing to do with beliefs or opinions. It's a mechanical thing. You understand? So the modes of passion and ignorance, Lord Krishna explains in the Bhagavad Gita, they mechanically prevent different degrees of comprehending and appreciating spirit, Brahman, and Krishna, and even appreciating the mode of goodness. We see, it is observable. If you go to certain sections of a city, or if you go into a bar, a pub, which is known to have particularly low-minded people, they'll just laugh. All these silly Hare Krishnas, they're just nonsense. Get out of here. Don't bother me. They're just not capable of understanding very much. And so, but then the other side, wonderful thing, because it's mechanical. If they, just like it's described in today's verse, by following the instructions received from superiors, one gets the ability, one is elevated into sattva guna. And then again, it's also not a matter of opinion or belief. It's just, now I see. Oh yeah. What wasn't visible before becomes visible. A very wonderful thing. And good to keep in mind, because we are, of course, hearing Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita in disciplic succession. And we don't always, I know I don't, especially in the beginning, understand things, and even my mind has certain parts of it that don't like it. We all have different threads, different modes of nature. We have our higher intelligence, and then we have our emotions and feelings, immediate reactions. What is this? Madness. God appears as a boar, as a horse incarnation. So, or even just basic, God is talking. God can talk. Yes, you talk. But even just basic things, because of past association and the modes of material nature that we're in. So Srila Prabhupada has explained that the word Upanishad, loosely translated, means to come closer to the spiritual master so that one can learn, hear, and understand knowledge of Brahman and power of Brahman. One has to become closer, and one has to be taught. One has to be trained. Just as someone who wants to see the rings around the planet Saturn, they have to learn how to set up the telescope, how to point it in the right direction, how to adjust the focus. It's an art, and you have to learn. Even there's something like electron microscope that they use to see viruses, very small bacteria. They exist. And to learn to use that machine, you have to be taught. There's a way to do it. So what to speak of understanding spirit? Something that can't be seen with these flesh eyes and understood very much with our brain. So that process is to elevate our being to this sattva guna. And then, as Srila Prabhupada writes in the Bhagavad Gita, everything will be revealed. We will understand, oh, I need to do this, I need to do that, don't do this, don't do that. Our appreciation for Krishna consciousness will automatically increase. Our enthusiasm, this is really nice, I want to do it. And then if we go down into the modes of nature, we make mistakes in following the regular principles, don't chant our japa very carefully, these things, eat polluted foods, then all of a sudden our mind will become clouded and I don't feel like doing that. I don't want to go to the temple. Because of slipping back down deeper into these Raja and Tamagun. So therefore, by following the instructions received from superiors, Maitreya was qualified to hear. And the other qualifications, faithfulness. I forget the Sanskrit, but for one who has staunch faith in both the spiritual master and the Supreme Personality of Godhead, all the imports of Vedic literature are revealed. Like this. So one has to be faithful, confident, accepting that whatever the spiritual master says on the strength of Shastra and previous authorities is absolute truth. Absolutely true. And if there is some difficulty understanding, then having the other understanding that in due course of time, if I'm patient, then what I don't understand now, I will. I will not only understand intellectually, but I will experience Krishna Gyan, the spiritual master, the whole dynamic. It's not just that the spiritual master knows Krishna more than I do. And forever I'm just walking around blindly, I have faith in my guru. I don't know much about Krishna, which is all right. But it is the spiritual master is looking and hoping. The whole dynamic is that by having a relationship with the spiritual master, I will attain gradually Krishna Jnana, Vijnana. Yes, not just that the spiritual master knows Krishna and no one else does. No, all of us are meant to actually experience our own spiritual nature beyond this body and beyond the mind, so that we have increasing personal experience. Oh, I am different than this body. Oh, I am different than this body. And realization of Krishna in its different forms, that the deity is Krishna, that Krishna is present as the Archa Vigraha. I found that exciting, and I'm sure we all of us do, that Bhagavad Gita is the recipe book for experiencing Krishna, something no one can take away from us. Not that we have to read something in a book or someone has to tell us. I know at least this much. I have some realization. I have experienced. Very exciting, but it requires this faithfulness in following the instructions carefully, like a recipe. You know, you want to make kachoris. There's a certain way to do it so they come out very nice and brown and flaky and they're thoroughly cooked. There's a way to do it. The oil has to be a little cool, actually, not too hot in the beginning, and they cook slowly. And then at the end, you turn up the heat and they crisp. And then you take them out and then you cook them again in very hot ghee, oil. So to succeed in any process, methodical process, it has to be followed carefully. You can't skip out steps. And I'm not going to put oil or ghee in the dough and it's going to come out flaky. It doesn't work like that. Oh, they're all tough and rubbery. Well, did you put the amount? Well, no, I thought it should only be a teaspoon. No, it's a tablespoon and a half for every cup. So that's your mistake. It's not your teacher's mistake. So this is perhaps something also that's good to remember, that if we feel frustrated, that I don't feel like I'm advancing, I'm still bothered so much by material desires, and I don't feel any more attracted to Krishna than I did 3 weeks ago. And it's good to have a mentor or a close someone that we trust, that we can examine that. Well, are you doing everything? Are you doing everything properly? Are you looking at your phone when you're chanting japa? I mean, how is your japa? Are you really chanting your japa as it's instructed? Are you sleeping 8, 10 hours and you expect your mind to be all nice? No, there's so many things. Not that many, but but all these T's have to be crossed, as they say, and the I's dotted. And then we get nice kachoris. We will experience progressively, because it is a science. It is a methodical process which works depending how well we follow it. So, and as we follow it, then we get confirmation that, oh, I had some doubts what my guru was saying, but I did it. And yeah, it worked. Wow. Okay. So probably what else he says also will work too. So like this. But one danger is that if we don't follow carefully, then we can lose faith. And if we don't keep in mind that it might be our fault, then we can really lose faith. Oh, this Krishna consciousness. It's just, I'm going to do something. I'll join some other group. No, it is 100% guaranteed by Lord Krishna himself and so many Vaishnava acharyas that this process of bhakti, of devotional service, Vaidhi bhakti, Adau Shraddha, what is it? Sadhu Sangha, Bhajana Kriya, Anartana Vritti, Nishta, Ruchi Shakti Bhava Krishna Prema. It's progressive. And especially in the beginning years, I would like to say, generally, we can get so much realization just how we progress in Sattva Guna. It may be that we have even deeper realizations, and we may. But for sure, if we follow carefully, if we study the 14th and 16th and 18th chapters of Bhagavad Gita and follow the instructions, not just follow the instructions, but understand the symptoms of Rajaguna, Tamaguna, so that we know, oh, I'm really improving in Sattva Guna. Oh, yeah, okay. Or, wow, my mind is really in Tamaguna today or this week. We have to know. And then, so then we become excited. We become enthused. Oh, yeah, this is really working. The modes of nature are lifting. I feel more attracted to Krishna. So let me even be more enthusiastic. Srila Prabhupada was asked at least once, probably more, that how can I have enthusiasm? That's a good question. How can I wake up in the morning? Oh yeah, I'm going to chant my japa, or I'm going to do this for my guru. How we can get that kind of inner enthusiasm. So Srila Prabhupada said, just by following the regulative principles, just follow the basic principles. Because as Srila Prabhupada writes, and Lord Krishna tells us that as we progress in the Sattva Guna, automatically we get vigor, we get inner enthusiasm and strength and vision of the higher realms. And how do we get how do I get to Sattva Guna? Just follow the regulative principle and chant your japa carefully and don't sleep too much. And make sure what you eat is pure, cooked by a pure person, or at least you buy it. Srila Prabhupada said that you might buy something, you may eat something that's not cooked by you, but if you purchase it and pay for it, then virtually all of the sinful reactions are removed. But better that we have our own cooking or another devotee's cooking. So these things, if we follow them, then it will work. It's mechanical, actually. That is mechanical. Yes. It's like lifting weights. It has nothing to do with believing it. If you just do it, your muscles will get bigger. Right? It has nothing to do with belief. So the same thing with these rising to the mode of good. That's the process, isn't it? Adau Shraddha. That first someone has a little confidence. Oh, this Hare Krishna, I think I want to learn more about it. What is it? So then Sadhu Sangha. We visit the temple, or we go to online classes, and we learn more. I think I want to practice some of this. How do I do that? So that's Bhajana Kriya. And the essence of that is as much hearing about Krishna and speaking about Krishna as possible, following the 4 regulative principles and good japa, loud, conscious japa, hearing every syllable. Srila Prabhupada was asked again at least once, probably more, that should I think about Krishna's pastimes when I chant? He said, no, just listen to each syllable. And then automatically there'll be some remembrance in the back of your mind or some qualities of Krishna that, oh yeah, Krishna is Karuna Sindhu, is Dina Bandhu, Hare Krishna, Karuna Sindhu, Dina Bandhu. And there's reflection about Krishna. And not necessarily forced, but it's there. And so then there is a mood because, as Srila Prabhupada explains, there's at least two main moods in chanting. What are they? What are the two main moods in the chanting? What is our intent? What have we heard about that? What is the mood in chanting? Anyone? I know Kirtika Sundari knows, but anyone else? I think I put everyone to sleep. All right. So what is it? What are the moods?
Hare Krishna.
Yes. Gayatri. What is one mood or intent?
Remembering Krishna, Prabhuji, and the name is also form of Krishna. So that's
We
what we
hear
have
it
to
many
remember.
times from Srila Prabhupada. What is the call from our heart while chanting?
I don't know, Prabhuji. Sorry.
Oh, it's all right. Oh, energy of Krishna. Oh, Krishna, please engage me in your service. Right? Oh, Radha. Oh, Krishna, please engage me in your service. Please pick me up and place me as an atom at your lotus. Or I heard in one lecture in Boston, early lecture, Srila Prabhupada put this meaning that, oh Lord Krishna, please pick me up and place me in the society of your service. But it's a mood of, please pick me up, please lift me up. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. That ayi nanda tanuta kinkaramam vishame babam buddho. That, oh Lord Krishna, oh Son of Maharaj Nanda Krishna, I have fallen into this ocean of material existence and I'm struggling so much and so miserable. Please pick me up and place me as an atom at your lotus feet. This is the Lord Chaitanya has given. So there is that please engage me in your service, please pick me up. And then there is the mood of glorifying Krishna. There's, oh Radha, oh Krishna, oh Lakshmi and Narayan, Sita and Ram, you're so wonderful, so amazing. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. Just glorify, praise him, and then meditate. Oh yes, Krishna, you are Karuna Sindhu, Dina Bandhu, Jagatpate, Gopesha, Gopika Kanta, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare. And therefore, we can understand the pure devotees, Srila Rupa Goswami, Srila Sanatana Goswami, Prahlad Maharaj, Prithu Maharaj, great king externally. But he prays, they all pray that may I have thousands of mouths and thousands of ears so I can just praise you, so I can just sing your glories. Prahlad Maharaj says that I have no worries for this material existence. It doesn't bother me very much because I'm always absorbed in the Mahamrita of glorifying you. We become happy when someone says, oh, you're such a good cook and you're so attentive, intelligent, capable. We become happy, don't we? We like to hear those things. Our children come, or our parents, oh, I love you so much. I care about you. I just always think about you. So Krishna, Sri Krishna, he is the supreme person. And so when we have that mood, he becomes very pleased by our love, our affection, or just respect. We can't, it's probably not that we're going to be in the mood of Rupa Goswami right now, or even tomorrow or next week. But we can find something to reverent, at least, appreciate, express to Krishna, to our spiritual father. Srila Prabhupada is this Krishna consciousness. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and the disciplic succession and our Srila Prabhupada have given us everything in bhakti. They have given us from A to Z. They have given us learning how to draw the numbers, right? When you were in kindergarten, early school, or first grade, you learn how to write the numbers. And then you learn to add 1 + 1 is 2, 1 apple, and another apple is 2 apples. And then we progress, isn't it, to multiplying, dividing, and what's after that? Fractions and pre-algebra like this. And it progresses. So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, for that matter, Lord Krishna, in the Vedic scriptures, the whole, what they call spectrum, from the very, very beginning baby steps to the intermediate, all the way to the fully awakened prema bhakti. And we hear about it. And we get familiar about this. But where I am, that's another thing. It may be that I am progressed in an intermediate way. Even I'm initiated. Yes, initiation, it doesn't mean, it's no guarantee of any particular awakened state other than being capable of following the regulative principles and being steady in sattva guna, and obviously showing a certain degree of faithfulness and understanding of Krishna consciousness. And Srila Prabhupada wrote that initiation is just the beginning. In the early years, sometimes devotees made the understandable mistake of thinking, well, I'm initiated and I'm connected to His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada and the 6 Goswamis, and I am a very, very advanced person. Maybe not. In the Bhagavad Gita, Srila Prabhupada writes that the beginning of genuine Krishna consciousness is just to genuinely appreciate that this taste of the water, this paratha that I like so, this warm blanket, this car, this friend I have, the sunlight, it is given by Lord Krishna. And I so much appreciate it, and I'm grateful to Him. And we should not make the mistake of thinking, well, that's material, and pure devotees, they just want to serve Krishna, and they're only asking to serve Krishna. They don't care about material things. And that's true. That's true. And we may be on that platform, or we may not be. And we should be very careful not to overestimate where we are really in terms of heartfelt faith in God, heartfelt devotion to God. If we think that we can just jump And it may be that we're born into this life so advanced in bhakti that truly is our, what they say, adhikari. There are such devotees, but I'm just sharing from my own experience that I understood. Probably I should have understood sooner. Or understanding more clearly what my real, honest faith and devotion to Krishna is. If I were somehow transported just into the middle of Mongolia or someplace, Kazakhstan, in the middle of nowhere, no internet, no devotees, how would I do? How would I do? Would I ecstatically get up every morning and worship Krishna and out of my own spontaneous devotion, try and preach to the local villagers? It may be, could be that we're elevated like that, or it may not be. So understanding honestly, what is my real devotion? Srila Prabhupada writes in the third chapter of Bhagavad Gita that better an honest sweeper in the street who has simple faith and, oh, I'm so grateful God has given me this food and this place to live, and I have some work, and I have the association of spiritual master. I'm so grateful for my life and the opportunities. So someone might find fault. Well, yeah, what's this? You know, where is your wanting to be the maid servant of a gopi? Where's your desire to be the close servant of Lord Ram? I don't know. This is where I'm at. And so Srila Prabhupada says, better to make gradual progress and be honest about it without pride and egotism than trying to imitate. That will not be very useful. So I speak it like this because it's described about Maitreya Muni, that because of his ability to understand the science of Krishna, because of his faithfulness and following the instructions carefully. So any questions or discussion about any of this, anything, correction?
Thank you very much, Prabhuji, for this wonderful session. I must apologize for joining in late. My Gurudev had called me, so I was talking to him. So please forgive me. And I came at the right moment when you said about us being in the mode of passion or ignorance, and to start off with and saying, oh, this Hare Krishna, maybe let me read and let me, then you feel, you get the taste and you slowly increase the hearing, and then you follow the 4 regulatory principles, and then you started from the mode of passion. But my story I'd like to share, and maybe I've shared it before, but I feel I started even lower than the mode of ignorance. I used to work where the temple was at Soho in England, in London. And the Hare Krishnas would come out with their Harinam, and I used to see them. And the moment I see them, I used to cross the road and walk in the opposite direction. I didn't want anything to do with them. And by any chance, if a devotee caught my attention and gave me a little bag of prasadam, I would say, no, I don't want to eat this. And it was really nice, dry fruit. They were so soft. No. I used if I could climb the wall, I would just climb the wall and disappear and had nothing to do with them. So, so that is where I'm coming from. So every time I go to London, I make it a point to go for the Sankirtan. They have it every day. At least once I would go, and then I would try to distribute and give prasadam to everybody on the street. And when they say no to me, I feel so happy. I said, this is me. This is me 20, 30 years ago, 35 years ago, 37 years ago. So when they chastise me, I feel very happy. So I come
you're not alone. Thank you for sharing this. Many devotees share that kind of thing. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, we're all human, we all have our stories. I shared with mine when I was first reading Bhagavad Gita. I thought, what am I doing here? I'm a demon. So
yeah, thank you very much for an excellent class. I know we have exhausted our time, but are there any questions or comments from the group? If there are no questions or comments, maybe we can end the session. Panchalikar Mataji, are you able to end the session for us today? Hare Krishna.
It's Hare Krishna, Mataji, and Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Please accept my humble obeisances. Thank you for the wonderful class as always and taking us through the various stages. And I think my takeaway today, and I feel so ashamed I couldn't answer the question, is that when we chant, in what mood do we chant? We say we pray to Krishna that please accept me, but for myself, I do pray that, but I forget to glorify them. So I make it a point now that apart from just praying to Krishna that, please engage me in your service and the service of your devotees, I have to remember to keep glorifying them as well. So thank you so much, Prabhuji, for reminding us again of that. So if I can kindly request all to unmute and glorify Prabhuji by saying the Hare Krishna mantra. Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Rama, Rama
Rama
Rama,
Rama, Hare Hare. Pancha
Panchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki,
Jai,
Srila Prabhupada ki,
Jai,
His Grace Dina Sharana Dasa Prabhu ki.
Jai.
Hare
All glory
Krishna,
to
so
the
nice to be with you.
devotees.
I feel bad I missed the past couple of weeks. Good to be back. I wish everyone well. Hare
Thank
Krishna.
you.
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Thank
Hare
you.
Krishna.
We wish you well as well. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji's and
Hare
Prabhuji's. A big congratulations. I think this is the first meeting after your initiations. So
Last
a
Sunday.
very, very big congratulations to all of you. I can see the new names, Kirtida Sundari Mataji, Ishwari Radha Devidasi Mataji, Murali Gopal Das Prabhuji. So a big congratulations to all of you. And it was such a wonderful ceremony. Beautiful, beautiful ceremony.
Thank you. Thank you so much for all your blessings. I think it is because of blessings like Vaishnavas, like you all, that we were able to see this. So thank you for your best wishes as well. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji and Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.